I'm going to jump in and throw in a little mid video. I was going to go from one topic to the next. But my last video got me to thinking about this, and it's something I'd thought about many a time, and um, thought I'd share it with whoever wants to hear it. I'm going to tell you a little story. I'm staying at this place right now. I have been for the past couple of months. And this place has a really nice hot tub. So it's not that uncommon for me to go down to the hot tub with a couple of cold beers and soak my weary bones. And on occasion, there's another couple of people there. And on this particular night, there was a man and a woman. And I found out later the guy's exactly my age. And nice looking guy, he's still pretty fit. Turns out he was a rancher, farmer, agriculture kind of guy. So physical work. And he never bragged about his money, but he had, you could tell he probably had a little bit of money, successful at what he does. And he was with this woman who was probably in her late 50s, and they were obviously a couple. And the minute I walked in and saw them there, they were all snuggled up against each other and, drinking some wine and giggling and having a good time. And first thought I had was, these people ain't married. But we got to visiting, as people will do, after I had a beer and they'd had another glass of wine. Things loosened up and we introduced ourselves. Where are you from? Blah, blah, blah. And so we just start talking. And this happened a couple nights in a row. So we got familiar. I can't even, I wouldn't mention their names, but I can't even remember their names. Not like we became friends, but it was friendly enough. And it turns out that no, in fact, they were not married, and they had been dating for a couple of years, and he was divorced. And, we had a little conversation about that, as men will do. And we both mentioned how much we'd lost in our marriages. And this woman kind of sitting there, you could tell she was actually getting a little bit nervous. And then they talked about they were going to buy a house together and move in together and maybe buy a little, where I'm at right now is kind of a resort area. And they might buy a place in this particular part of the country for their winter time. I'm in Arizona at the moment. And they were going to maybe buy a place down here because they were from up north somewhere and they didn't want to do the winter thing anymore. And I don't blame them. And as it went on, you could tell, this woman isn't comfortable. This man is talking to another man about past relationships and wives. And at one point in the conversation, I looked up at him, and this is the point of my video, and said, well, we got to make sure we never lock the back door on a relationship. And he knew what I was talking about, and so did she. And her face just dropped. And she said, well, I just don't agree with that. And I said, well, I do. And here's what I wanted to share about that. When I went into my marriage, for reasons I've mentioned before, by golly, I was going to stick this thing out. I was going to make it work. Hence, in my last video, was how easily I was manipulated and gaslighted, as I used in the term last time. And I had locked the back door. And what I mean by that is simply this. You've got to have an escape route. You've got to leave that option open. If that option, this is why people think they can treat you like crap. If they know that you will never go away, if you've got a big dog with a big chained to a tree, you could beat that dog every damn day, and that dog ain't going nowhere. Well, what I'd done is I'm the one who put the leash around my neck and hooked the chain up to the tree. It was by my own doing, my own will. I closed and locked that door. Hell, I nailed it shut because I was not going through a divorce. And if the other person realizes that you don't have an escape plan, they got no reason whatsoever to even try. And the leash you got, that chain around your neck, is one of your own making. It's put upon us possibly by our religion, which it was in my case. It was put upon me because of my expectations, the fact that I'd already gone through what shouldn't have been an embarrassment, but a humiliating time from a short-lived marriage and a crappy little divorce. Before, well, I just wasn't going to be the guy who was a two-time loser. I mean, that was actually a statement I would say, I'm not going to be a two-time loser. And the other person picks up on that. And you find yourself trapped in a trap of your own making. You find yourself chained to a tree that you put there. I'm telling you guys, do not lock the back door. Shut it. Shut the door. I do not believe if you make a commitment to be monogamous to another human being, that you should not be monogamous to that human being. If it gets to the point where you find yourself in a situation where the affection, the love life, where that is gone, and you've gone through the process of realizing it ain't about you, it's about her, then maybe it's time to pull the key out of your pocket and unlock that door. So if you're about to go into this or you're in it, just go unlock that back door. If it doesn't improve, then walk out of it. And yeah, you're going to take a big hickey in the pocketbook. Ain't nothing you can do about that. Anyway, just wanted to share that one with you. Don't lock the back door, guys. Life is tough. Don't make it any tougher than it has to be. Keep it